The next one is the gluteus minimus. The gluteus minimus is the origin is the external surface of the ilium and the anterior portion of the iliac spine and the ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. And the insertion is the anterior border of the greater trochanter, and it adducts and immediately rotates the hip. So the way to actually locate that is you actually want to lift up the foot. So I'm going to lift up the foot, and as you can see how it rotates around like that. You feel the head of the greater trochanter. So for the first trigger point, you're going to feel the head of the greater trochanter going up about an inch, and that's where that first one is. And for this one, the typical referral will actually go down the lateral side of the leg, so it can actually mimic sciatic problems. And the next one for the trigger point is actually right in the center of the glute. And this one will actually go down the posterior part of the legs for the typical referral. So again, it can mimic sciatic problems, but it's basically right in the center. So just make sure you're not put anything close to the sacrum. Make sure you're not anything close to the greater trochanter region, just right in the center. Next one is the piriformis. This is the big one for, sometimes it can impinge the sciatic nerve, so you're going to run into problems with that then. So again, you're going to lift up the leg, you can rotate it back and forth, you feel the greater trochanter, and it's just right on top of there. Make sure you're not putting pressure right on the greater trochanter at all. So you can roll, it's a ball and socket right there. So you're going to push there, then it'll actually refer right around that area. So that's just if it's muscle, but if it's the sciatic nerve impinging, it'll actually go down the leg then. So that's the difference between those two. But the piriformis is it's a deep lateral rotator of the hip then, okay? So just like I showed you on the anterior portion of the body. And again, that's right above the greater trochanter is one, and then you have to actually kind of go over here and push in the lower portion of the sacrum. That's where the other trigger point is for the piriformis. And for the piriformis, for this trigger point, it'll just kind of go around this area too. So if it's muscle related, it'll just go around that area, but if it's actually nerve, it'll go down the leg. But you got to make sure you locate it just right, because remember the gluteus minimus, it's an inch above the greater trochanter. Will go down the lateral side of the leg, and right in the center of the glute will actually go down the posterior part of the leg for the actual muscle related.